Hey friends, today's breeding day for the rabbits here on Mama Bear's Homestead and More. I've already bred 2 of them, and I was gonna wait and breed a little bit in another week or 2 and give her just a little bit of time to adjust to her new babies, but we actually just found out today that 2 of the does that we were raising up are actually little boys. So I'm gonna tell you something, we are not experts when it comes to sexing rabbits. And it's very difficult when they're super young to sex them and get it right. It takes a very special eye to get that right from when they're very young. So anyone that can do that and is successful, kudos to you. Absolutely. So we're still working on that. But because of that, we want to go ahead and get as many of our does bred as possible. We don't like to breed during the summer, during the really hot months. It can be a lot harder on them, so I want to try to get in a couple of breeds here before the summer actually hits. So we're going to attempt to breed a little bit today, and hopefully she'll cooperate. And this goes to show, I have to say that if you are unsure that you have a doe and a buck, when you try to breed them, you want to pay close attention to them, because if you throw a buck into a cage with another buck and they don't know each other, they're going to try to attack each other's testicles, and it could end pretty badly. I actually had to separate both of the does that I tried to breed today because they both went after each other. So just want to make sure. Hi, sweetheart. It's okay. And we're going to attempt to breed her with Teddy. I've already moved his water dish out. Here you go. No, not me, darling. And you can see she's already raising for him. Maybe. There we go. We got 1 fall off, and we'd like to get at least 2. It takes Teddy a while to get back up afterward. The more fall offs you get, the more likely that you'll have a bigger kit. So we like to give him at least 2. And sometimes it'll take a while. You'll watch some videos where they'll just leave the doe and the buck in together and kind of go off and do their own thing, and then come back later. But I've always been too worried that one would attack the other and nobody would be there to separate them. So I always like to just kind of stand guard and watch. And he's doing his little romancing on her. I don't think she's very impressed.
And another thing, when you do breed your rabbits, you want to always bring the doe to the buck in his cage.
Yes.
Don't take the buck to the doe, because does are very territorial and she might try to attack your buck.
And bucks tend to be more curious, so if you took the buck to the doe's cage and living quarters, he might be more interested in sniffing around, seeing what she's got going on, versus, you know, focusing on the job at hand. And since she is feeding a very big kit right now, I'm not going to leave her in here too long. If he doesn't get a second fall off, I'm not too worried about it, since we did get 2 successful breedings earlier today, each with 2 fall offs. So we should get some pretty big kits out of those. What do you think, Teddy? You done? Have I worn you out for the day? Are you done, little bit? You ready to go back? Oh, she's taking advantage of his feed bowl.
You know, your boyfriend's always got the good feed. Yeah, see what kind of hay he's got.
What do you think, buddy? What do you think? You worn out? And you can see next door is our other buck, and he's already mated with Thumper today, so. All right, buddy, you got a few more seconds and then I'm taking her back home. Okay, I think she's done. Let's go ahead and get you back in your house. Oh, come on. Oh, shh. I know, darling, I know. Come on.
Okay. No Teddy Biscuit. He's a pretty good old boy. He really likes it when you rub the back of his ears.
So that's just the absolute basics of rabbit breeding. Said we're not professionals by any means. It's always going to be a little bit of a learning curve, but hope you've enjoyed, and hopefully we can show you some babies here in about a month. And until then, friends, keep on keeping on.